So yesterday we started a new topic called deployment automation. Okay, and I've explained what do you mean by deployment automation. Okay, and where do we use this in your typical software development lifecycle. Okay, and to perform the deployments automation. Okay, what are all the things you should know. Okay, so I talked about a typical Java-based web application. Okay, and what are the components available in a Java-based application like a front end and the back end. Okay, and to deploy a front end part and for deploy a back end part, okay, you should know something like the technology stack where you will be deploying the things. Okay, and that's where we are trying to learn the application servers as well as the DB servers. Okay, and yesterday we started with one of the application server called Apache Tomcat, and we install that in a Linux operating system. Okay, and we have seen how to stop start, how to deploy the application through console, through direct deployment. Okay, and how to view the logs and how to change some configurations. Okay, all this stuff which I have gone through yesterday, right? The Apache Tomcat stuff, right? So today we'll see the MySQL database server. Okay, so as typically as a build engineer or a DevOps engineer, okay, it is not mandatory to know the in and out of the application server or database, but you should have some basics. Okay, so think about you're a computer science student. Okay, do you think you learn only the C and Java programming language in your curriculum? You have a database as well, you have an operating system as well. Okay, and I mean, I don't see an application server at that point of time, but so you have everything mixed. So nothing but if you're a proper computer science engineer, you should know all of them. So similarly, when it comes to as a DevOps engineer, okay, you need to become a detailed expertise over there in the technology, but you should have some basic knowledge. Okay, like example, you take a developer. Okay, so developer knows how to set up the entire application on his machine itself. Okay, in his desktop or laptop. Okay, so how is knows, like, because he worked on the application server, he works on the little bit of database, he works on the programming side, so some basic you should know it. Okay, now the application server side we have seen the basics of it, typically how a Tomcat will be set up. Okay, similarly you should know some basics about your database server as well. Okay, so you should know how to set up that. Okay, and you should know how to create the databases. Okay, how to create tables. Okay, how to view data, right, and how to deploy DB. Okay, how to take the backup of DB, right? So, and how to give the access and all. So these are all the stuff you should be aware of it. Okay, so let me try to first set up the MySQL server. Okay, so MySQL server is an open source one, guys. This is a open source DB. Okay, so this DB, let's try to install this DB in a Linux server. Okay, so how to install it? Before it installing, you can just check it in the Google how to see. I want to install a MySQL on Linux server. I'm just putting the same question in the Google. Okay, because tomorrow somebody may ask you to install DB2, somebody may ask you to something else. So nobody will train you for each and every installation. You just start make use of some documentation and do it. Okay, so how to install MySQL server in Linux? CentOS. Ours is a CentOS, right? Click on the first couple of links, any of the link. Come down, come down. It's clearly mentioned, run this command. I hope you remember the yum command. Yum command will directly download from the internet and install the software. Okay, so let's try to run this command, yum, on your Linux machine. Okay, say yes here. It is installed in the MySQL. Jagan, I don't know how many computers you are connecting. I see your names 4 times here. Which one you are alive? And Praveen as well. 2 times. Okay, you might be not having voice, but the thing is, why did you connect it in 4 machines? Okay, fine, no issues. Let it be. So look at this. So I successfully completed the MySQL Server installation, guys. So to verify whether your MySQL Server, it is just installed now. Okay, I'm noting down the steps as well. So Linux installation on Linux. This is what the command. So once it is installed, you have to start your MySQL server. Okay, it is like a Tomcat server only. It will open in some default port called 3306. I'll show you like before that how to start it. Sudo etc init MySQL d status. This command will help you whether your MySQL server is running or not. Okay, right? Status says whether it is running or not. Right? So to start it, same command, say start. That's it. That's it. Your MySQL is started, guys. If you want, you can run the status command and see your MySQL is running. Can you see MySQL D is running? Okay, which is nothing but you have successfully installed a MySQL server and you started it. Okay, so anytime if you want to stop it, right? MySQL server, you just stop it. That's it. This is to start. Okay. Right, now it is stopped. If you want, you can cross check the status, it is stopped. Okay, now let's try to start. So if it is started and running, okay, it will open a port called 3306. Is this port open now? Did you see this? 3306 port, nothing but where your MySQL server is running, a database server is running in this machine. Okay, now if you try to stop it, the port will not be open. Default port will be 3306. What is the default port of Tomcat server, guys? What is the default port of Tomcat server? 8080, not 22. Okay, 22 is your putty Linux server default port. Okay, 8080 is the default port, guys. Yesterday we did the deployments, right? 192 8080 we opened, remember 8080, and we converted that port into 8081 as well, right? Yesterday. So now come down. It's a 3306 is the default port. Okay. Now let me start it. I stopped it, right? Let me start it now. Check. The port is open. Okay. Now once this you are done with this, okay, now you need to set up the username password for your MySQL server. You might be thinking, what is username password? I'll tell you that. So if you install MySQL server, there is a command called MySQL will be enabled. MySQL hyphen version, I think. Can you see this? MySQL hyphen version. Okay, this command will be enabled. Run this command. This will give you your MySQL version 5.x.x. Some version is there, 5.x.x. What is it? 5.1.3. Remember, the MySQL version which installed is a 5.1.73, guys. Okay, so this is the version. Now instead of MySQL version, now I want to create a user account. Okay, now the default user for MySQL, okay, this is how you log in, is a root. MySQL space hyphen u, nothing but user and root. You try to log in. Now you logged into the MySQL prompt. Can you see this, guys? This is a MySQL prompt. Okay, any kind of a database activities which you do it inside this prompt, not on the dollar prompt. Dollar is your Linux prompt. Okay, so you are getting into your MySQL server now. Once you get into your MySQL server, now you need to create an account, a user account. See, You might be thinking root is already there, right? Why do you need to create it? See, root, we shouldn't use it for the application deployments. Okay, root is the administrator account, right? Never use the root for application deployments, remember. Okay, so now how to create db user and password. Okay, right. Now for that, okay, maybe even I don't know, like, how to create it. Let me Google it. Okay, so how to, I mean, same question what I'm saying, right? I'm putting in the Google, how to create MySQL user and password. Click on first couple of links, any of the link. Look at the query. You have a query available here. Did you see this? This is what the query to create a MySQL user account. So put it as, instead of Jeffrey, let me say Harry. Okay, and instead of my pass, Harry. So password, username, I'm keeping both are same. So create user. So just copy paste this query in the prompt. That's it. Paste it. You have created a user account called Harry, guys. Okay, if really want to cross check whether you created account or not, okay, exit. Exit, nothing but come out. Okay, now once you come out, what do you do it? Earlier you logged in with root, right? Now you try to log in with Harry. Okay, sorry, you have to provide the -p, right, password. Okay, so now enter the password Harry. Can you see you logged into with Harry now? Okay, so this prompt is logged in with Harry. Just exit, right? Now once you created the account, right, okay, how to create a database? So now I need to create a database. Okay, so how to create a database? So let's log in with Harry, and to create a database, this is what the command: create a database. Hello, my database name is hello. Look at this, it is failing. The command is failing. Access denied for Harry user. What do you mean by this is, Harry user is there, but Harry doesn't have a access to create a database. Harry cannot create a database. Okay, so now you got it out. Okay, then let me see how to give access to my account. Okay, so typically, like, giving an access is called granting an access. Okay, so that will be there somewhere around here. If it is not there, Google it again. Yeah, it is already there. Grant all privileges. Can you see this? To the username identify. I'll put it here so that you can understand much better. Okay. Grant access to Harry. Okay. Now grant all privileges on to username. What? Harry. Okay. Identified by password Harry. So let's try to run this command. Okay, and make sure when you run this command, you have to run with a root account. Okay, you cannot give yourself as a full access, right? So log in with the root. Okay, now try to run this. Semicolon should be ended. That's it. Now we successfully given the full access to the Harry user. Okay, now let's try to log in with the Harry and enter the password Harry. Okay, now create a database. Create database hello. At the command end, you should enter a semicolon. Enter. No, still not. Okay, I understand the problem. You have to enter the local host there. Log in with the root. Grant. Instead of %, enter localhost. Semicolon. Exit. Try with this. Harry. And now hello. Yes, created. So only small change here. Localhost. Okay. Now once you have it, then you have to run a command called this command. Create database. Hello. Okay. So this will successfully create a database for you. Okay. Right. So now you have successfully created a database. Now once you created a database, how do you get into the database? Okay. So how do you get into the database? Guys, these queries are MySQL queries. Sorry, not a dollar prompt. It's a kind of a disturbance, guys. Somebody is keep on logging in, logging out. I don't know. I think Jagan, I see yourself only. Just log in any one of the machine. Why you need to log in multiple times? Okay, so this is another one, right? I have successfully created a database. So once you successfully created a database, now you need to enter into the database. Okay, so use hello. Okay, use hello, nothing but you get into the database now. Now I'm in hello database exactly right now. Okay, so the use command will enter into the database. Okay, now I entered into uh, the hello database. Okay, now once that is done, so how to create a table? Okay, everything is available in the Google, guys. You just copy paste it, that's it. So MySQL, how to create table. Okay, it's a simple create table. So I hope you might be gone through in a curriculum. Select queries, create queries, update, alter, okay, drop, blah blah blah. There are many queries are there. It's basic, not many, hardly maybe 5 to 10 important queries. Apart from that, remaining you need to know because you are not a DBA. Okay, so the DBAs will take care of about the combination of queries and all. Okay, you just need to write a simple queries creating, updating, blah blah blah, all of them. Okay, let me take an example of a simple create one. Okay. Here as you go, a simple table it is creating. Yeah, but it is storage disk and all there. I don't want the storage disk. No, simple table I need it actually. Yeah, page create MySQL table. Yeah, W3 schools is the much better one. Can you see this? A simple create table. So table name is my guest and it is having the columns called what? Unsigned auto increment primary. Okay, this is a primary key actually, so you don't need to assign the primary key. First name, last name, email ID, registration. Okay, so let's try to create this table, guys. You just put it over here, no need to do anything. Okay, and semicolon, that's it. Your my guest is created. If you wanted to see your table name, show tables, says show tables. Which, how many tables are there? There is only one table is there. Okay, my guest is a one table which you just created, right? So just put it there. Okay, so on this to create a table, right? This is what the creation of the table. Okay, now MySQL to see the tables. Okay, show tables, that will show you the list of tables. Right now only one table is there. Now to see the content of the table, okay, select star. This is the most popular query. Most of the computer science might be remember this. Okay, select the star from your table name. Okay, my guest, right? My guest, semicolon, empty set. There are no rows actually. Okay, you have to insert the data. So how do you insert the data? So for insert, again there is one more query is there. Okay, so typically the most important queries are create table, okay, and insert table. Let's try to learn some insert table one. Okay, so insert table, my guest. I don't want to make any mistake, so let me copy paste from somewhere. Okay, 1 comma Harry. Okay, sorry, Harry comma last name Potter comma email ID harry@gmail.com. Some dummy data I'm entering it. Okay, registration date, timestamp. Okay, this I think we need to give a proper timestamp. Let me look at some example of here. insert data. Yeah, let me look at the insert data. Insert table, column 1, column 2, column 3, and that's okay. I need the test timestamp one. How to provide that? Come on, MySQL insert command. Syntax. Insert into table name. That's what I written, right? Insert into is not there. Insert into my guest. This is what my table name. Okay. And okay, I have to put this first. Okay. Then values. Okay. Now, what are this? This is ID. First name is my second column. And last name is third column. Email ID is fourth column. Registration date is fifth column. I don't have the sixth column yet. Okay. Values. And the timestamp will be 05. I'm just giving this 05 2016, some date time format. Okay, let's try this. Something wrong, semicolons. I got it. You should put everything in single quotes. Everything. This is in single quotes, single quotes, single quotes, single quote.
You missed a port a single quote.
Where? Where did I missed?
Porter.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yes. Syntax error. Something, a brace is missing. Curly, some braces is missing. Values, this is open and close. Fine. Semicolon is already there. It is saying syntax error near token this. Okay, let me give a space over here. Anything wrong? Okay, let me give this also in single quotes. Insert into my guest ID. DAC my guest. Oh, DAC is not there. So guys, where I'm there, I'm in a dollar prompt. I should be there in the MySQL prompt. Nobody is like, looking at the prompt at all. So you should run this command in the MySQL prompt. Harry -p Harry, not on dollar prompt. Okay. So when you're looking something, completely out of it. Okay, no database selected. So you understand, right? Once you log in, you have to get into your database. Use what is our database? Hello. Okay, get into the hello. Then you insert it. That's it. Your command is proper. Actually, you're running in the wrong place. Okay. So this is the insert command which will insert it to my guest. Now, once you insert it, if you want to see the data, okay, or the inserted data, select star from my guest. That's it. Can you see your data in a table format? First ID, Harry Potter, Gmail, I think we gave something wrong format, guys. It took it, but the date format is wrong. Okay, so it is successfully inserted. This is how, like, we do the insertions, right? Now I showed you how to insert it. Let me uh, see that is insertion. Table creation is here. Okay, how to view the data? View is typically a select query. Okay, MySQL. Okay, so right. So now, how to delete the table? How to delete table? MySQL said drop table my guess. Okay, don't press Control C. That will come out from your prompt itself. Use again. Remember, you have to get into the database first. Spelling mistake. Anything wrong, guys? My guess. What is it? Gcaps. Yep. Okay. So it's dropped it. That's a simple command. Okay. So this is about some sort of a very bare minimum basics about the DB. Okay, where you should know if somebody asks, like, insert some data, run some data. So you should be able to log in and do that stuff. Okay. Now, how to take backup? How to deploy entire DB script? Okay, somebody may ask you to deploy a DB script. Okay, so a DB script will typically ends with a .sql format. Okay, .sql format. Okay, it can be any name they can give it. They'll give. So you have to run this file. Okay, on your what do you call, on your Linux server. Okay, to deploy this, what you're supposed to do. This is what the command to run it. -u Harry -p. Okay, then you have to provide the database name, which database you want. Hello. Okay, and provide your script file name, like, some abc or abc_db.sql. Okay, so just try to run this script. It will load all the SQL queries into your database. Okay, so let me give an example how to run this in the MySQL. I think I have some MySQL file actually. Okay, guys, don't worry about this. This command I'll show you while we are trying to deploy the lead app, because the lead app application is having that file. I told you that I'm going to give one application deployment. Okay, so there is an application called lead app. It might be show, yeah, lead app. Okay, so this application is having a SQL file, so I'll show you the deployment at that point of time. Okay, so even the backup also that time, but let me try to write the query here. MySQL, it's dollar only, not MySQL. MySQL dump -u Harry -p. Okay, now this is how you need to take the backup. Hello bkb.sql. Okay, so these two commands will run it later. Okay, at this moment just just leave it the commands as it is, and while doing the SQL deployment we'll see. Okay, so let me try to show you the typical one example app entire deployment workflow, manual deployment workflow. Okay, so that's it. That's it about the MySQL, guys. Okay, pretty simple one. How to start, how to install, how to create database, how to create accounts. Can you see all the commands? Everything is covered here, the basic stuff. Okay, so now I'm going to take a project, a Java project, Java web project. Okay, and the name of the project is a lead app. Okay, and how to do the deployment of this app. Okay, deployment. Okay, so just deployment. When it comes to its deployment, it has a front-end deployment, okay, which is typically a war file, okay, war file deployment. Next is a backend, okay, deployment, okay. This is typically a SQL file deployment, right? Now let's try to deploy the war. Okay, always remember, okay, backend should be deployed first, right? Then front end, okay. So always the backend should go first, then the front end. So now let's try to deploy this in the Apache Tomcat server, okay, the war file. So let me get the application first. I think somewhere it is there. Can I find this? Temp docs, assume training material, and example of this, and training. Yep, lead up. Yeah, this is the one I'm looking for. Okay, let's copy this. Come back to your DevOps folder itself. Let me put it out here, and its name is lead app. Just get into it. Okay, now I'm in a lead app source code base. So now for me, the developer said, you build this, you'll get a war file, and internal inside source code, that guy said to me, you have a database file called schema.sql file. Can you see SQL here? This is what the SQL file. This SQL file is pretty simple thing, guys. Go try to open it. It contains all your SQL queries. You know what is a create command, you know what is a drop, you know what is use nothing, or he is getting into lead app and he's creating a table, okay, and he is creating 3 tables, not only one, so he can create multi. So all the SQL queries he is inserting data as well, okay. All the SQL queries he'll put into the .sql file and give it to you, okay. Now this table contains, it is trying to drop database if called lead app. If it exists, it is dropping and creating it again, okay, and use lead app. So that is how he is proceeding it. So the script itself will take care of, like, creating a database and all, okay. So now let's try to deploy the backend first, which is the schema.sql. So to deploy this, first of all, you have to copy this file to the SQL server, right? So let's try to copy this file into the SQL server, okay. So what I will do, I'll make use of scp command, okay, and vagrant at the rate 192.168.16.10, okay. Just copy to the home location itself. If you give colon, it will copy to the home location. Vagrant. That's it. It is copied. Now you go to your Linux machine, exit your MySQL prompt, and check it out. Can you see schema.sql here anywhere? Yeah, here it is there, okay. Now let's try to run the command, deployment command. So this is what I told you just now, right? To run the deployment command, you will just come back to the deployment process, MySQL, this is what the command, okay, paste it and just provide schema.sql. Don't need to do anything, okay. So your script will take care of it. Enter password Harry. That's it, guys. It's within a fraction of a second it's completed, but in the real time they'll put more data, more commands, so it takes some time, maybe a few minutes, few seconds, okay. It just finished. Now if you wanted to know whether it is really performed, I mean it is really executed or not, now get into the database, then you confirm whether it is really created database or not, okay. So Harry, okay. So to see whether the database is created, I showed you one command called show databases, okay. So as per the script, it should create a database called lead app. Create a database called lead app. Let's see where it is created or not. Can you see lead app database is created? Okay. Next. Now get into this lead app database. Lead app database. Okay. Now inside the lead app database, he just created 3 tables: user, category, and all. Okay. Now check whether those tables are there. Show tables. Can you see category, user, data? And if you wanted to see, this guy inserted some data into the tables, okay, into a insert into a category. So inside the category, insert into user. So look at the user table. He inserts some data. Select star from user, okay. Can you see one John Miller, right? So your database deployment is successful. You know, to do this kind of a thorough verification, guys, if there is anything wrong, your SQL prompt will throw an error. Okay, so you just have to make sure that has been executed properly. If you want, you can run second time also. There is no problem. What it will do, it will drop it and create again. Okay, drop nothing but it will drop entire database. Okay, you can see drop database, right? So this is how you do the a typical MySQL DB deployment. Okay, that is what this command. You know to give the database name here, guys. Okay, so fine. Now I'm done with my backend deployment. Okay, so I'm done with my backend deployment first. Then next front end deployment. So let's try to deploy the front end part. So for front end parts, you have to build the code. Okay, so try to open a command prompt and run the command called add var. Okay. I mean, if you want, you can look at the build script, guys. This is a simple script. Okay, you can find the there's a var target is there. This var target will build the var file. Okay, that's it, nothing else. You can look at that later because you already gone through that. You don't worry about it. Now it's preparing a var. It successfully prepared a var inside the dist lib lead.var. Dist lib. Now I have a var file called lead.var file. Now let's try to deploy this var file into your Tomcat container. Okay, now where is my Tomcat container? So your Tomcat container is in this same Linux machine. Okay, now let me try to open the architecture diagram of this application. Okay, so now what I'm trying to do here, guys, this is what my laptop or my computer. Right, now this is what these are my servers. Okay, I have two servers. One is Tomcat server, one is MySQL server. Okay, this is what Tomcat server. Here I install the Tomcat, I'm running the Tomcat, and this is what my MySQL server. Okay, now from my machine, okay, to Tomcat, and from my machine to MySQL. Okay, to MySQL, what I'm deploying it, I'm deploying the .sql file. Okay, so to Tomcat I'm deploying the var file. Okay, and which one will go first? MySQL one will go first, and second thing is this thing, right? So just for a change, what I'm doing it, instead of these two servers, right, I'm making use of the one server, guys. In the same server I put the Tomcat, in the same server I put the MySQL. Okay, I mean, there's no harm in it, you can put it, but generally in the real time, just for a load purpose, I mean the more CPU, more memory purpose, they separate into different machines. Okay, so they will segregate it. Right, now I'm going to start a Tomcat in this machine. Okay, I think we already set up this Tomcat in the same machine. I'm just starting it. Okay, so startup.sh is there, just start it. Now your Tomcat is started. So once your Tomcat is started, how do you deploy, guys? You can use any deployment. Okay, so 192.168.80.81, just try to open. I think manager we don't have it at the moment because we changed yesterday the MySQL base actually. Okay, now instead of that, what I will do it, so it is looking for now the deploy. See, this is a folder it is looking now. Okay, in this folder we have to deploy it. So let's try to deploy the var file. Okay, so with the direct deployment, scp lead.var. Okay, and you need to deploy to this server. Copy paste. Okay, and where exactly it is this is all the location, pwd. Okay, home wagon deploy, because your Tomcat is pointing to this location. Forward this location. Now this is all the location. Now just copy this vagrant. Right, now it's been successfully copied. Once it is copied, just try to access that link with the var name. Your var name is lead app, right? Just enter. Now it should automatically deploy, guys. When you deploy it, it should automatically deploy. If it is not deployed automatically, what you can do it, you can restart it. If you restart it, it will definitely deploy. So go there and shut down your Tomcat. Okay, and start your Tomcat. That's it. Okay, now if you do that and try to access your lead app, and just wait and see how it works. Okay, so guys, nobody is looking at the IP address is wrong. 10 dot, oh sorry, 16 dot 10. Okay, 16.10 is, this is what your application, a simple application guys. I just downloaded from the Google one project from the internet, and I'm just showing. If you want, you can download a number of job offers available in the internet. Okay, you can just download it. So this is a typical web UI of your application. Okay, now how do you know whether your front end is talking to backend or not? Okay, so what I'm trying to say is these are all the application related things guys. Okay, if you want, your developer will help you out. Okay, so he will give you the credentials of your application, so you can choose the credentials. I know the credentials actually for this application. So user.javachap and the password is a javachap. Okay, if you try to log in, if it successfully logins, okay, then your application is talking to your database. Yes, it's successfully logged in, nothing but it is talking to your database. You might be thinking, how do I know that? Guys, if you look at this SQL file, it is there here in this SQL file only, the username password. Can you see the username is email ID and the password is a Java chat. Okay, right, user email, user password. So it's a dummy application. So your application is really talking to your database. Okay, if you really want, you log out, and what I will do, I'll try to uh, delete the database, okay, and see how it works. MySQL-u Harry -p Harry. Okay, now what I'm doing is drop database lead app. It's dropped. Okay, now you try to log in. User.javachap, javachap. Can you see this exception? Com dot something went wrong. Okay, a nasty error, you see it here. So which is nothing but, by looking at this exception, people can easily guess it. Can you see SQL grammar exception? Something you may not be understanding, but at least you could understand, like, SQL is there, nothing but something wrong with your database stuff. Okay, so this is how you have to troubleshoot. And if you don't understand this error, you copy paste this error to the developer, and by looking at this error itself, he will tell you what went wrong. He will tell, like, you might be not deployed the database, maybe the database name is wrong. Okay, maybe the database server is down, right? So this is how you troubleshoot it. If it is really working fine, then you don't find any problem. Let's try to deploy this and see now. Deploy, you know it, right? It's just SQL -p. Oh, this was the command. Okay, right. Now you try to log in and see. JavaChap. That's it. It's logged in now. Okay, and you can, I mean, from here it's a QA engineer, tester's job. Like, test the application, blah 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 blah. You just, like, play around whether it is really inserting the data or not. Okay. Okay, so enter something, submit, right? So you have a row here. So from here your job is done, guys. You don't have to do all this stuff. Okay, once the deployment is done, your work is done. Okay, so this is what a typical manual deployment of an application. Okay, so guys, did you understand how we deployed a lead app application on project? Did you understand? Any questions from your end? Balu, Hemant, Jagan, any questions from your end? No. Okay, so I want you guys to, like, build this lead app, because I'm going to upload this application in the Dropbox. Okay, download that, build it. Okay, install Tomcat, install MySQL. Okay, and create the database, deploy the application, and see whether it is running fine or not. Okay, this is what your job. So now, as of now, whatever we did it, which is a typical application deployment process. Okay, this deployment process contains app and database, both of them. Okay, so but bit confusion as I didn't understand. Okay, maybe you're not there yesterday, so you just go through yesterday's video. So now it is your job okay, to perform all these activities manually. Now whatever we did as of now, everything is manually. Okay, now I'll tell you actually what you are supposed to see. This everybody can do it, even a developer can do whatever you did as of now. Okay, but the management expectation is if you do like this, okay, there is so much of like, you know, time consumption. You have to spend like anything. Suppose this deployment may be taking maybe 15 minutes to half an hour. Okay, there might be some deployment may need to deploy it into 50 servers, okay, and maybe 100 SQL files, okay, maybe a 10 war files, okay, and they will ask you to do that deployment in a day 10 times. Think about your situation, how hectic it is. Okay, so time consumption and error prone nothing but see everything are running manually, the commands and all. If some colon is missing, something is missing, you just have to, like, you know, wait for the correction and just fix it, right? And maintenance is really difficult, all these scripts and all. See, remembering all these scripts and all is going to be really tough. Okay, maintenance issues, right? Error prone, time consumption, maintenance issues, okay. And this, like, you can see typically if it's a manual task, what kind of a problems you will be having it. So all of them you see it. So that's the reason the management or whoever is recruiting you, they're expecting the guy who is coming and on board to the team, he needs to automate this entire deployment process automation. Okay, this automation is a really key skill. Okay, same thing we have seen for build as well, build process automation. Okay, so build also people used to do it manually, so that's where you enter and you automate it with the help of Ant-Man and all. Okay, so similarly now the deployment process you need to automate it. Okay, so how to automate this? So to automate this, we have the tools and technologies available in the market. Okay, either you can go with the scripting, the deployment part, either you can do with scripting, okay, or you can make use of some DevOps tools. Okay, you can do the deployment process automation with any one of two. Okay, so as part of the scripting, there are n number of scriptings available in the market. Okay, like PowerShell, Python. Okay, so Bash scripting, okay, Perl, Ruby, blah blah blah. There is vast variety of scriptings are there. Okay, now as a build engineer or DevOps engineer, you should know any one of the scripting. Okay, so because they may ask you to automate something, it can be deployment part, it can be, like, you know, something else. Okay, so you should know any one of the two. Now when it comes to the DevOps tools, okay, DevOps tools are typically called deployment automation tools. Okay, so these two, I mean, there are many tools are there, most of them are the proprietary ones. Okay, Opscode Chef is the most popular one, then Puppet, okay, then Ansible, okay, then Rundeck, then Deploy It. The many are there, okay, like this. So among all of them, we'll go through one of the tool called, which is Opscode Chef, guys. Okay, so first, before going to the DevOps tools, I wanted to train you the scripting part, okay, and automate the entire deployment process with the scripting. Okay, then after that is done, we'll go to the DevOps tool, okay, and how to automate, learn the Opscode Chef first, okay, then how to automate our deployment process with the help of the Chef. This is what our agenda. If you could able to complete all these things, you're pretty much done with the training, guys. Okay, most of the thing. Okay, after that you will be having some sort of a, what do you call, project explanations, roles and responsibilities, blah, blah, but these are the very big sessions actually. Okay, scripting and DevOps tools, right? It may take another 10 sessions for sure. Okay, so this is what our agenda for next. Okay, so that's all for today. If you have any question, you can ask me, otherwise we can wind up. Any queries still here? Okay guys, so I'll stop it for today. We'll catch up tomorrow then. See you. Bye.
So can you share the
Yeah,
tomorrow's class video?
yesterday's video. Yes, of course I'll do
Yeah,
that. Okay? Yeah. Thank you.
yeah.
Jagan, all videos are available. Okay, don't worry.